to talk about it. Lisa, if you want to say what you did so far so everyone's aware of what happened.
Well, no, we took everybody's numbers and estimates that we all discussed, finished them all in this morning. We did factor with the 3% for employees, except for a few others, which is where I need to ask some questions then. But the only thing that's not in the budget that you guys have right now is health insurance, and I do believe that's going to be a lot higher than we normally anticipate every year. So we are going to be way over once those numbers hit next month. But here's what I wanted, Travis, you and I talked, you said about Renee, about doing some grants down there.
Yep.
Okay. So, are we having different, I know you guys had someone do it before, right?
Yes.
So that's like a separate, how you're doing things, Josh?
So, what was
I just
not
because-
Trey, it was Terry.
Terry, yeah, he's not there, right?
Yeah.
So we're just, are we just having her do kind of what he did?
Yeah,
So
on-
it's separate than what we're doing other things?
No, so it's kind of like both working hand in hand. So like she'll get sent away to like specific training. It was like the one for, what was it with the railroad? I forget that. North Shore. So North Shore like offered like, hey, for a mile from the railroad, we cover, I forget like the numbers. A certain percentage to cover a mile from the railroad, which is the entire city. So like I different the grant writing for law enforcement, like, hey, these are grants that you can look for. That's what Terry did when he was looking at the
So you're gonna have her name specific?
specific grants like trainings and things like that, but at the same time, the grant person also working with her to do like the smaller local stuff, having flash with the day and seem to do like tasers and things like that. So it's like, even though they're doing grants specifically towards the police, but also doing things that, hey, it may not work for the police for this, but hey, we can do it for like local ones like the day scene and other like local ones, but now like for like McDonald's and Burger King, like not local ones, but like corporate wise.
But if you're gonna have her start doing some of them, then why wouldn't, then maybe to save some money, you just let Steve do the streets and kind of do your departments instead of bringing someone in general?
I mean, we could do that also. That's why, like, I mean.
Well, and I only
Yeah.
thought of that because when I was doing things with Travis today, that made me think about how what he said,
Yeah.
so if you're gonna start doing that, Steve would be able to handle all the street ones, he's done
Yeah.
that before, so like, maybe we look at that avenue.
And that's what I kind of have in there during the work session, we can talk about it. No, it's good, because it both goes hand in hand. So I guess we can, I'll tie it in now because it has to do with the budget. So like, what I'm gonna propose in the work session, like with the grant writer, like having a base salary of like 30,000 in benefits and working off a commission. So that way, because you said it's saving.
But why have even a grant writer if you're gonna start, if you want like Renee to do police and the small Deggy ones, why not let Steve then do the street ones and then just kind of?
Well, because like up at gym, like Carl, like does Carl have the time, because there are, like, you know, he's already working, like he's doing all the day-to-day stuff, when are you gonna have time to do grants? And like, we don't want stuff, like especially the expensive parks and rec is, with all the stuff, like stuff to fall through the cracks because he doesn't have time to do it. Or, you know, with Cheryl, even with Steve at times, like, all right, hey, they're understaffed, like.
Sure they are, I just meant most of the street things go hand in hand with what Steve's doing.
Yeah, no, like I said, I just don't want certain like smaller stuff to fall through the cracks, like all the little stuff adds up, and you know, hey, you're working on this one, I can work on these 5 other ones that may not be like a big grant, to do like the $1 million grant, but I can work on these, hey, these $50,000 grants or $100,000 grants, it's all, still gonna all play in the aspect of working together. That's my vision. I can't say the rest of them are gonna agree with it, but like, I think if we have more people working on the same thing, be on the same page and looking at multiple resources to do so. Like, for example, just say Steve is doing the grants, like big grants. Does Steve have time to go away to trainings for like, where to look at for all the little small stuff that may be beneficial that we're missing that we didn't do in the past?
Right.
I mean, that's how I
see
do
it.
it.
Right, I see what you're saying, I just feel like once we start doing that, we're gonna be
And that goes back to having good
doing it.
That goes back to having good communication between all departments and the position in general. I mean, that's just me, like, that's up to what everybody else wants to agree upon, but I think it's something that we should try to do and see if it works.
Well, I understand what you're saying, I'm just saying, I know that we're going to be way over, so we're gonna have to start figuring some other things
Well,
out.
I do have a solution, I now have a solution, but I have something that could help put a drop in the bucket once we're, once we have anything else we want to hear about. So,
Back to, I'm working on a person right now to do strictly the grants for vacancy and stuff Carl needs. I'm working on that, so he doesn't do none of that. And I'm not finished putting everything together, so.
yeah. But, you know, just say like that person does like those smaller grants, but like the main person could be looking into the DCNE, the DCNR grants, the bigger ones that they may not have time to do. And plus, you know how it is, Jim, when you get into busy time of the season, that person may have to get pulled off to help because, you know, someone may be sick or out on vacation, may not have the time. And, you know, we don't want stuff to fall through the cracks because people don't have time to do that
The
aspect.
person I'm looking at right now has nothing to do with the operations of the rink or anything like Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
They would be strictly doing grants that we need for this, just like you mentioned, Travis, you just, you're saying just about somebody in your department that's putting the office doing, I just doing basically that.
Yeah, okay. Well, just to throw this out there, so about, as you said, Lisa, about, you estimate 400,000, just a rough number.
Right, and it could be more because of law and things are changing.
You don't know.
Right.
So,
What's the 400,000?
Once health insurance hits, we're gonna be over quite a bit, because they made a lot of changes
that's the
health-wise.
deficit.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we're good right now. If we don't put that in, we're good.
if no one's paid health insurance.
Yeah, if no, but, so this kind of leads back to what we're wanting to lead into. So like, the chief and I have been talking about, okay, how can we plan long-term to be feasible?
Right,
So we looked at what other contracts, what other municipalities are doing for the police department and their non-uniform. And so I'll just kind of use you as an example. Okay, so for his insurance, it's about $32,000 for the year, for him, his wife, and his family. So what other municipalities are doing, I know we do it, we offer an incentive not to take the insurance right now.
Also that's the police, right?
Well, not just the police, and we do offer that to the police.
Right.
But like right now, it's $3,600. It helps, but doesn't help a lot. So other municipalities are offering, like Milton, they offer $1,300 a month. So I'll just use easy numbers. For $1,000 a month, if we do that for all our uniform and non-uniform, it's $12,000 that we pay them. But on the back end, if they do take that, the city just saved $20,000 by not paying the insurance costs. So like we offer like, all right, hey, if you don't take the insurance, we're gonna make it actually worth your time. So for him, for example, your wife's a nurse, right? So, okay, instead of them being on his insurance plan, we'll switch over to my wife's insurance plan, what may be a little more expensive, but now I just got a $12,000 incentive to not take the insurance, and then the city also saved $20,000 by not having to pay the family plan in. So like, let's say,
Basically, we do it in general for everybody else, now they get an incentive.
yeah,
to take it.
but now it's like, hey, now it's gonna be really worth it not to take it.
You wanna give them a little more.
A little bit more, so like, yeah, and that's helping everyone across the board, like, all
It
right.
doesn't balance out for everybody. Like, honestly though, if we start paying,
But we have to look at the numbers in total, but, I mean,
I could see giving them this, sorry, Travis, staying incentive.
no, I say you make it fair, at least we come up to try to make it fair,
Right.
not just for uniform, but non-uniform also, like, I know some people are at retirement age that they could take, I don't know if it's Medicare, I don't know what the problem, I'm not there yet.
Well, because I just think I don't know how much we actually save if you start giving other people more money than what we're giving our non-uniform now. Do you know what I mean?
Like I said, we'd have to run the numbers, but, you know, just on, I'm just saying on one person, all right, we just saved 20,000, you know, to say, okay, that's multiple of 10, that's
Right.
200,000,
I
but,
think it's worth,
yeah, it's just something I think we have to look into.
incentive, but-
yeah. I mean, and that way, you know, uniform and non-uniform, they're happy because they're getting paid more, and we're happy because we're paying less in.
Mhm.
And like I said, we gotta run the numbers to see where we're at on it, but it's just like something that, you know, a lot of people are doing it
Right.
because, you know, $3,600 is like, all right, I'll just sign up for the insurance, that way I have it. Compared to, hey, it's 12,000, hey, that's a different tune, you're hearing $12,000 compared to 3,600.
If you think about how many employees we have and what that would add out to.
I mean, like some of them
Sorry,
are,
I'm trying to think in my head, I don't think that's what that
yeah.
Well, no, the savings.
Summer's like
Yes,
that.
because most of them are paying for family plans.
Well, I have to see, we have to.
Yeah, family plans and older, and, you know, if someone could, was it Medicare, Medicaid, I don't know what it is. If they can take that instead of our insurance,
While you're active, you can. While you're active.
I don't get money.
You can go to Medicare.
well, you know, it's just whatever. Like they have, if they have another option and they can, you know, make more money on their own paycheck and we're saving money.
You have that person.
Part-time, if they retire, they go to Medicare, and then come back part-time.
I just think it's something worth looking into to see if there is gonna be some type of savings. And then depending what it is, I mean, we could do, like, I'm just making this number up, let's say you'd save $200,000. It cuts the deficit lower down. Okay, instead of doing the whole $200,000 savings, all right, we'll put 100 away for our capital reserve that we always talk about and say, all right, the other 100, we will actually pay them down the deficit instead. So maybe, I'm just making up a number, say we're $400,000, making that up. All right, 200 we saved by doing the insurance switch over. All right, instead of taking the full 200, all right, we'll put 100 away for capital reserve that we always talk about, never do. So it went from 400 down to 300, we're kind of still playing both ends. You know, it's just something to think about for long term.
I think though you also run the risk of I think it's worth looking into, but you also run the risk of your formula being affected in your coverage rates, because if you get a bunch of young people opting out, or a bunch of people on a single plan opting out, and then.
We have to break down who's single versus who's family.
Yeah, and you know, and it's, I'm just making up, numbers, it doesn't have to be
The
12,000.
claim, like if your claims level, if you have all high claimants, it's gonna affect the funding formula, and then it could jack the rates for the following year. If we only, and like, I mean, if all the healthy people opt out, because they're gonna get 12K, and then all
And
the
it
sick
doesn't
ones
have to be
stay
that
on.
amount, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I just said an easy number. Yeah, I just said easy number because of, you know, 1,000 times 12, 12,000, easy number. It could be less than that, I just need to do the number.
Healthcare, where things are going. But we have to understand that once you opt out, it's for a year, you can't.
Oh, I mean, I say, this is mean, like I said, for the police, it's the length of the police contract. So like, when it's, I'm just making this up here, so right now, I think there's what, 3 years left? So let's say next contract, I'm just making this up here, 2030, I'm making it up. All right, if you choose to opt out, it's for the length of that contract. And then, okay, you wanna opt back in, you opt back in. And the same
We
thing,
can't technically make them stay out of an emergency situation that they have.
And
We
that-
have to allow them.
yeah, and it's one of those things, you have to show the proof of the emergency situation, stuff like that. And for non-uniform, it doesn't have to be, we say every 2 years or every 3 years, whatever.
But the emergency can't be because that policy went up, well, it's cheaper back over.
No, it has to be an actual.
Like, they no longer offer,
Something happened to the spouse and you don't have that insurance anymore.
yeah.
You lost your insurance for whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's just, like I said, that's not, I'm not saying that's the way to go, but I think it's something worth looking into and see the cost effectiveness, that you said, the healthier person, you know, dropping, all right, we gotta pay them more, but, you know, to see what the numbers, how the numbers balance out.
Yeah.
And you know, and maybe, you know, don't wanna say, no, I don't want that, because I like what I got, it's cheaper, you don't know, but, you know, if it's worth having a conversation with the, you know, our employees and say, hey, if you could get this, is there other options, is it worth it? No, you know, it's just something.
And we have to balance out how many people would opt out versus not.
Yeah.
You look at it, if you opt out, 5 people even opt out, it's a savings of 150 minus what you pay out. I mean, so you're saving about $100,000.
Yeah. So like I said, it's just those things.
It's worth, I mean, it's worth looking at, we just have a lot of factors to put into it
Mhm.
first, but it's not, I mean, everything's worth looking at.
Yeah, and then we also got to remember that, you know, how when we met with Truman last year about, you know, the deductible also, how, hey, you want to put X amount away because you have this number of employees. You also remember, hey, that's going to drop down also because I'm just making this number
Because
up.
that's going up this year too.
Yeah, so like, you know, hey, you know, we used to have, I'm thinking this number, you used to have 30 and now you only have 20, so you don't have to put all this money in, you could, you know, cut it,
For balance.
yeah, cut it out more. So it's like, it's one of those things that you should run the numbers to see if it's a valuable option to look at. So, just put that out there. That's all I got.
It's a new vehicle. It's a new vehicle for you.
Let me get a little smart car.
Bikes, well, not bikes,
Segways. I mean, does anybody see any other, I mean, big purchases that you're gonna need for next year, or anything like that, or? I don't know.
I'm worried about the annotated price, but I think Jeff Google meeting with them tomorrow, because
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
done.
I called up and, I just wanna know like what their annualized cost is gonna be, like yeah, so we're gonna look at that tomorrow, but I think that could be like a sleeper, big addition to everything.
Are they gonna be in-house or they'll, we'll find out what they're gonna do about those cameras up there, since they were there. We haven't had it for over a month.
And I'm glad Nate brought it up, kind of talked about it a little bit, like, the equipment costs for our upgrading what needs to be upgraded, because it's so outdated. We do know that we don't own the phone, and we were gonna have to purchase a new phone, like, that's a given for sure. Now, computer-wise, we don't know yet for sure, so,
From all.
the computers, yes, the phones, I know we don't. So it's just one of those
I'm
things.
pretty sure we, in the treasurer's office, are all ours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
And they're very,
outdated.
yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and at least
in a
with,
lot of years.
yeah, at least with Innotek, you're gonna give us a long-term plan saying, hey, every 3 to 5 years, you should wanna start replacing whatever it may be. So it'll be helpful that, you know, after we get them on board, too bad, not this year in
We
time,
gotta buy
but,
computers off of them when if we find out we don't know.
well, they don't sell computers, but they give you a list of like, for what you need to do, this is what the type of device that you need.
They
Like-
have different vendors they work with.
Yes, yeah, they give you a suggestion, like, you pick what you want, that way you can't come back and blame them.
So
Oh,
whatever we do, we're buying and we own it, we're not having to worry about any of the stuff we go through with Infrared anymore.
correct, yes, and as I said, every time I call them, it's like, a person actually picks up the phone, not press 1 for this person, like, they pick up, and I think we'll have a good experience long term.
I say, I called because 3 of our computers are about shot, and they need me a quote, it was like $4,000 for 3 computers, so it wasn't equal. But we
So
all,
more than that.
Yeah,
we all.
And like the thing is, like, they tell you, like, this is what you need for what you're doing. Like, you don't need to have I'm just making the $3,000 computer if you're just opening up emails and Excel spreadsheets. Like, you don't, maybe you only need the $800 computer. So like, don't base your quotes on what you're doing for your job. So that could help us save money also, when it gets to that.
But I think that's a factor that's gonna have to be added in everywhere that we don't, probably isn't in there now.
Yeah. And I said with the computer system and stuff, obviously, we're gonna have that push in the beginning, but at least after that initial push, then we'll, okay, hey,
Well, and if we need a lot, we're just gonna have to narrow down what needs to be done first.
Yeah,
We don't
like
have to do them all at the same time.
yeah, for
That's-
sure.
There's some that are enough that you take your most, you'll start here and.
The
work our way
priority.
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would think of, that I just want to put out in the work session, maybe we should put it out, but the Axon cameras that we went to, they also can be set up now to, we can push a button and somebody can talk to us in Spanish, or they can talk to us in French, and literally like pushing the button, it then feeds it, records exactly what they said in Spanish, and then records back what it says in English to us. So
Do
we
you have
basically.
accessibility or is that extra?
So basically, it's a plan that they have. It's like $32 per officer, a month. So it comes out to about $4,000 a year. But you now can communicate, you literally can push a button when you're on scene, and if they're talking Spanish, you can interpret everything that they're saying. The new Axons that we got, which would be something to basically look at. The other thing with Axon was, I was talking with the vendor, they actually have this new drone
Payment.
that you can launch from the police department. If there was a major incident going on, you can launch it, and at any time of 45 minutes that we can punch in an address, the drone takes off from the station and meets us on scene. So you actually get a bird's eye of what's going on before
Or
you
you
get
figure that in, Travis, with some of the
I did
stuff?
not, that's why I want to say that drone basically can be operated within the guard, state-of-the-art stuff. But it's $30,000 for that, basically, that drone. But it's worth it because you literally are launching it from the department. It's going, let's say, up in the hill section, you have somebody breaking into a car, it's in progress. You can launch it from the station. It goes right to the scene and hovers 45 minutes.
Infrared, seriously?
Yeah, they're really. Yeah, I'm gonna get you, I'll get you all the schematics on.
Now, can you punch in or send it to a location, give an address, we'll go to that address?
They go to that address and wait for us to get there.
The infrared, we'll
It's gonna pick up whatever's on the ground.
follow him around.
I don't know if they're gonna follow, but at least we'll hover and we'll at least have shots.
Seeing where it's,
Prior to us getting there, if somebody's breaking into something, and then if you just wanted to do it on patrol, let's just say you had some break-ins down Susquehanna Avenue, and if we wanted to basically have the drone just go on down Susquehanna Avenue, and have a 45-minute life, and then come back, just switch the battery on, and you send it right back up. It's a state-of-the-art type thing, it's something that Axon has come out with, that if you're at this, let's say there's a murder somewhere, and it's up in the hill section, we literally can, in route, basically put in coordinates, launch pads right at the station, it launches, goes, heads right up there for us. It's getting scene shots for us while we're up there, prior to us even getting there. It's just, it's something neat, it's something that, really down the road, even now,
In another 20 years, it'll be
right, you're right, it's just crazy, when they were telling me about it, it's just crazy, but get some more information and pass it along.
Josh, one thing I have done is I have more money for building maintenance, I want to continue working downstairs.
Oh, yeah, you gotta, yeah, of course.
And,
Construction, you know, there's construction material ain't going down.
you know, lumber actually went down, seriously.
So you're telling me they were charging us too much this whole time? That's good. Alright. Anyone else seen anything crazy going up, or if they see that they would like something or need something that? John?
That one would be after, but we're taking on bogey once that's what municipal, once we get the money for it, that is a line item.
Yeah. Okay. I remember, yeah, I mean, you talked about that a couple meetings ago, so. Anybody else?
When will we know the healthcare?
We won't know until October. We'll have exact numbers in October.
So,
Are we shopping or are we just looking at a plan renewal? Like, is the broker shopping for us with other providers?
we just did that last year,
I
right?
think we just did that, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we should do it every year.
I think we do it every
I want to say 2 or 3.
2 to 3, yes.
I emailed Truman today and asked him if you got any feelers for percentages, if you guys anything, if you had any thoughts, any ideas, you guys can answer me back. And I'll give it to you guys, I'll give you the best if you get it back. It's gonna be a guess though.
Yeah, just how much leases do you think you'll be over? Like,
I mean, without
roundabout?
knowing, about maybe 400,000. I mean, that's just rough ballparking it. Like, we won't know until we get the exact numbers.
And then what? Start
Well, then
cutting?
we'll have to go through line item by line item to get under budget or get on budget. Anybody else? You know, I have to say for Lisa, it was nice to actually get an email saying, hey, we're not dead broke coming out of the gate. There is good news.
And then you guys are the next.
But then there wasn't always good news. But that was nice. It wasn't negativity to start.
You gotta start positive somewhere, right?
That's right, that's right. The numbers are in, and right now we're good until we put those numbers in.
Yep, then we gotta talk.
Chief or Mayor, how many police officers are we budgeted for next year?
12, what we have currently budgeted for. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. Anybody else?
I will, if you shoot me an email, a little bit about, and I'll do some research on the other stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because, you just need the numbers, right?
Just need some general idea, and then I'll go from there and figure out what I need to do.
Yeah, because you got that spreadsheet from Truman last year, with all the numbers in it, so we can send it over.
Yep, and then we'll see what we can,
Yeah.
you get that over, and then I'll try to do some
Yeah, because
comparisons. I'll do a few different,
it's one of those things also. When is the enrollment period for insurance, like October, November? October, so if we're gonna do it this year, it's kind of like one of those things, hey, you wanna get it figured out?
quickly.
Yeah, sooner rather than later, because, so they know and they know, so we know and they know.
It'd be nice to have it,
I don't say enrollment's different.
I would like to try, I would like to get it squared away this month,
Yeah,
before, yes. If it's something feasible,
yeah.
try to have some discussion on it by the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
If it's, I mean, that's, we should go here something.
Yeah.
Or at least a general idea whether it's worth continuing to look into.
You have to have the conversation, yeah. Okay. Anybody else got anything on the budget? Once?
Not specifically related, but your buggy is up, it's got 13 days left to go, and it took 6,000 bucks, so it's got that more than they deserve, so just so you know.
Steve, I think you need a buggy out there at your place, right? Your neighbor needs a buggy out there, right?
Well, Bob doesn't live above me anymore. I put it in the guy.
Oh, we'll see what happens. If it makes it, makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, it's in really nice shape.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, it's 23,000 new to get 16 now.
Yeah.
I
Save.
think you're gonna be all right.
All right. All right, are we good to go into the work session then? All right, so moving into